Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we're going to talk about it right here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. And we got a great show for you tonight. And if you want to call and ask questions, 323-870-3857. And tonight, it is, Beeb, another year come and gone. We're going to review 2021. Man, it came and went just that fast.
Flies, doesn't it?
Time flies, man. What are you going to do, man? It's crazy, right?
That's right.
All right, so we'll tell you who the top guys are in 2021. But first, we're going to get started with Fox last night on Christmas. Because, hey, what better time to put on a card than Christmas when everybody's watching TV? Or maybe not. Judging from that arena last night, let me tell you what, babe. I saw that arena last night during the main event, and it was empty. I mean, you know how like they can sometimes do the lighting thing and just kind of quell it down and the camera shots and everything. They couldn't even make the camera shots look like it was like filled, or, you know, you could do the camera angles and stuff and just not show, I guess, anything past the second row or anything like that, because that's what it was. It was completely empty. It was bad. It was real bad. I don't know what genius over there said, hey, you know what? I got a great idea. Let's put on a card on Christmas Day, and I bet billions of people will be there, because who spends Christmas Day with their families or anything like that? Everybody's watching TV and just dying for places to go. Are you stupid? This was the dumbest idea I could possibly think of. You know, yeah, they have basketball. They have NBA on Christmas, because people populate NBA games. There's a lot of NBA fans out there. People get them for Christmas presents. Nobody's going to see Vito Mielnicki, and I like Vito Mielnicki, but nobody's going to go see him on Christmas. You know what I mean? It's just not a good thing. Because if it was a popular thing, a lot of people would be doing it. Not a lot of people do it. This is, now you know.
I mean, Thanksgiving is known for football, right?
Right.
The summer is known for baseball, right? The fall is known for football. I mean, everybody knows what the seasons are and the times for certain sports to be popular. And Christmas is not a time where you put on a boxing card. It's just not.
Right. Well, you take that, or you couple that, and then you go on January 1st, another PBC, nightmare over there. So then you go to January 1st, and they've got their pay-per-view card with Louis Ortiz and
going up against college football.
Going up against college football all day.
All day.
January 1st, when you think of January 1st, you think of college football all day long, no matter what, if you follow it or not. It's all day long, I don't understand what their thought process is over there.
You hear people from PBC always criticize, like you hear Ellerby, saying how stupid everyone else is. We know what we know what we're doing over here.
Yeah, you look like you know what you're doing.
But do you really? Like, what is the plot here? It's almost like they're self-sabotaging themselves by some of these moves that they're making. It just doesn't make any sense. And again, you don't have to be a rocket scientist or a genius. Guys like you and I have been watching the sport for a long time. We know the times that, obviously those Mexican Independence Day holidays are great days for fights. We know in the fall, good days for fights. Summertime, great fights on a Saturday night, on a summer night. People like to watch boxing at that time. When you go back and look at some of the greatest and most successful pay-per-views in history, when are they? They're in the summer and fall months, right? Right around like when there's no playoffs going on, like right when the playoffs is over, and right when there's some downtime in sports, the transitional months of sports. Mm-hmm. Those are the best times to throw pay-per-views on.
Right. We always think of boxing as May and September are the two biggest Those are the two
Correct.
biggest days for fights. Now, there's
Yeah.
fights spattered all throughout the year, big
Yeah.
fights too. Those are the main days
Correct.
that you're going to get your boxing fans out.
Yeah. And all you got to do is look. Some of the most successful pay-per-views of all time, they're in the summer and they're in the fall. Always. There's no fight on Christmas that ever broke any records on pay-per-view.
Well, I'm sure this one didn't either. I'll tell you
There's
what.
There's a reason for that.
I tell you what, this one was, and it was an uneventful card. You know what I mean? And there were knockouts on all three. All three guys had knockouts. I get it, but it wasn't. I don't know. You expect them to win. It wasn't like it was going to be like uber competitive here.
There was no surprises. There were showcase fights.
You're waiting to see the Brooklyn Brawler come out.
Nothing was left up to your imagination here. You knew what was going to happen.
No.
Right?
Notorious said that Corey Lee had Vito by 10th round stoppage. Pretty good pick. Vito Mielnicki versus Nicholas Dalamba. Vito Mielnicki wins by 10th round TKO against Dalamba. Mielnicki won this fight fairly easily. I mean, he was outlanding his guy, just outboxing him. He was quicker than he was quicker, he was faster, he was stronger. He had him buzzed a little bit in the third round. I think the announcers went a little crazy in the third round, saying, "Oh my God, he's hurt. He's hurt badly." I didn't think he was hurt that badly. I thought he was okay. He was just kind of weathering the storm kind of thing. The best one is in the 10th round, right? With about a minute left, Vito caught him with a pretty good flurry, and they just stopped it. Like, I don't understand. And I get it. I mean, I think Vito put him down in the 10th, I believe. He got up and, it wasn't, I don't understand why they stopped it. And me, I'm always erring on the side of caution. I always err on the side of caution where I say, hey, look, I think this fight should be stopped, blah, blah, blah. I'm always erring on the side of caution.
Unless you got money on the fight.
Unless I got money on the fight, then it depends on how it's going.
Unless your name's Daniel Dubois.
Yeah, Daniel Dubois. Yeah, he should have went out there and fought. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he should have tried his hardest. You know what I'm saying?
You raked that guy over the coals for like months. Oh, my God.
Annalie Jaramillo, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Corey Lee Boxing in the house. Luis Reyes in the house. Lion Killer in the house. Maestro in the house. JC, of course, in the house.
HCP in the house, baby.
There you
Shout
go.
out to the HCP.
There it is. So if you get a chance, if you guys get a chance, take a look at it. If you didn't see it, catch it on YouTube. I thought it was a quick stoppage, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter. Don't waste. You know what? Forget it. Don't even waste your time on it. It's not even worth it.
No one's gonna go. Why are you?
No one's going.
No one's going
fight,
back
son.
to watch that, man. They're still opening up their gifts. They're still going to be opening up their gifts right now. They're not.
Let me ask you a question, because Vito Mielnicki now has, I think, 10 or 11 fights now.
Sure.
We've kind of seen him develop here. Does he look like he's got a title run in him, or is he going to be like fodder for some other guy here?
He's a solid guy fundamentally. He's not a bad fighter, but there's nothing that just jumps out at you that makes you say, yeah, this guy's a blue chipper. As Max Kellerman would say, he calls these guys blue chippers.
Jeez.
And I don't think he's a blue chipper, to be honest with you. Joey Spencer, he can punch a little bit, so he's got that in his favor. They're both
hard, man.
Yeah, he's a hard hitter.
You put that guy out.
Yeah, he's a really hard hitter. He's got a very fan pleasing style, crowd pleasing style, I should say. He's got a good persona about him. Mielnicki, I like the kid, but I don't know. I think he'll be a good mid-level fighter. I don't think he's going to be a creme de la creme type world champion. I just don't see it, to be perfectly honest with you. And I don't want to say anything bad. I want to be harsh about the kid, but
I think that he's going to be one of those guys, like you said, a mid-range guy, a mid-level guy. I don't know that if he gets a title shot, I guess they're going to really have to manage him. This is going to really have to be a managing job to get him to where he needs to be to compete at top level against top guys. He's sharp, but he is young. He's only 19. So, but just given the eye test and everything like that, he's got a lot to improve on. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. He can take either one of us, but we're not trying to fight either.
Yeah.
Joey Spencer versus Limberth Ponce. Spencer knocked out Ponce in the 5th round. Man, and he pounced him here, man. I thought Spencer looked good. A lot of people thought Spencer looked average. I mean, I thought he looked pretty good. I thought I thought he looked pretty good, man. Yeah. The guy landed 16 punches on him in 5 rounds. So I don't know where the pushback was. As far as people were saying, oh, he counted a lot of resistance, didn't know how to handle it. Yeah, landed the guy like 60-16 or something like that. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you guys were watching or what you talk about or what you were seeing, but yeah, I didn't think he looked bad at all. The guy that stole the show last night, and this was something else, man, Yoelvis Gomez versus Clay Collard. Gomez wins by TKO in the 1st round. He's now 5-0 with 5 knockouts. This was pretty impressive because he put a lot of pressure on Collard and got him out of there pretty quick. And, we've seen Collard fight before, and he is a tough guy. And he's got a lot of good wins against up-and-comers, and he is a tough guy. And for him to get whacked out like that was something. That guy did a job on him too, man. So I can't wait to see Yoelvis fight again. I thought he was pretty good. I thought he looked real good. Who do you like better? Let me ask you this: Spencer or Mielnicki?
Spencer by far.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so
much. No disrespect, but he's got much more of an upside.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I think he's got that power. Well, Mielnicki doesn't have that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I get it. He won by knockout. I get it. But he doesn't have that Spencer-esque type of power. Spencer can put your lights out at any point in the fight.
Spencer's got a mean streak. he's got a mean streak in him too. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's got that killer instinct. I'm not so sure Mielnicki has that, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't think he's got it to that extent that Joey Spencer does.
I think he's got it, but not like Spencer.
Joey Spencer wants to go in there and hurt you. Like, he wants to destroy you. He doesn't want to just win. He wants to take you out, And if he doesn't stop you, he's disappointed,
Right. Puerto Rican Rum says Vito Mielnicki will be a good contender in a possibly weak division. Yeah. Or possibly champ in a weak division.
Well, we'll see. Yeah. I mean, what's you're hoping for a division to be weak. I mean,
I think he was just making it. I don't think he's hoping for it.
Well, I'm saying, how are you going to project what division is going to be weak and when it's?
I guess we just find it and then he adjusts his weight accordingly. I don't know.
How do you determine that? How do you forecast a weak division? No disrespect. I'm just saying.
Louis Reyes says Xander sleeps Spencer. Yeah, you think? That's it. Yeah, right. Xander sleeps a lot of people now.
But if you'd have fun watching it happen, you know what I mean? It would be an entertaining fight. That's the thing.
Absolutely.
You're going to get your money's worth watching it.
For sure. All right, let's go to the upcoming fights here. And that was it for the weekend. Not a whole lot there and not a whole lot next weekend either, but the upcoming fights. January 1st in Hollywood, Florida, Fox pay-per-view. You heard that correctly. Fox pay-per-view, January 1st. The pay-per-view is $39.99, so they did scale it back, thank God, because nobody's going to pay $80 to see the following fights. Louis Ortiz versus Charles Martin, 12 rounds for the IBF Heavyweight Eliminator. Exciting Frank Sanchez versus Carlos Negron. Frank Sanchez is probably the most boring heavyweight fighter out there right now. Johnny Rice versus Michael Coffey, 10 rounds heavyweights. Gerald Washington versus Ali Aaron Demarizen, 10 rounds heavyweights. And it's a heavyweight card. And I think they're hoping for knockouts and that you tune in. I just have no desire to watch it. I just don't. I mean,
I can't even see myself. Well,
I can't even like streaming this. If this was on Fox, I may not even watch it.
I may buy it, and I'm embarrassed to say I may buy this.
How dare you?
I may just buy this out of boredom.
I doubt it because you'll probably be celebrating the Bearcats' big win over Alabama on January 1st.
I could be doing that too. Not, but
UC baby, championship, son.
Oh God, I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. We'll see.
How dare you?
Maybe
$40, man. Yeah, I can't. I don't think I could pull the trigger on that. No way.
maybe go and get some ice cream.
You're gonna watch the fight now. I think I'll go get some ice cream. You know what I'm saying?
Go get a cone.
I gotta clean my house that day. I gotta wash my hair. I got something.
Get a nice ice cream cone.
I would not. I mean, listen, man. Everybody can spend their money the way they want, man. But I'm telling you, if you ask me if this pay-per-view is worth $40, I will tell you 100% zero. No, not worth $40, man. It's just
Now let's ask Rick Glaser, how many pay-per-view buys is this going to do? 20.
What is he over under, like 25?
10,000 and 10,500.
I think the over under is going to be like maybe 500-600. However many people are in these guys' family. I think these guys' families will probably watch it if they don't make it to the fight. I think families will probably watch it, but short of that, you're not getting anybody in there. Come on.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
That's crazy.
I may buy it because I'll be bored. I don't know. Maybe I'll find something to do. What is it? When is it? New Year's Day?
Something like that. Yeah, January 1st, New Year's Day.
New Year's Day, January 1st. I may end up break. I don't know. It's only $40.
It's only $40.
Listen to me trying to justify buying this right now.
Wow.
What a disgrace of a human being I am.
You're just disgraceful, Beeb.
I'm a loser.
What are you gonna do?
I am a loser.
You got to come to Cincinnati, man. Celebrate with me on January 31st.
I'm trying to
January 1st.
I'm trying to justify buying this like a loser.
Yeah, you can't. There's no justification for it.
What the hell? What the hell is wrong with me, man?
I don't know. We got the sickness, Beeb. We got the sickness.
What on God's green earth is wrong with me?
We got the sickness. Better Beeb will buy it. D-Style. He knows you. He knows you, son.
Probably end up buying it, man. Because I'll have.
You need like a sponsor. You got to get D-Style to sponsor you in the sense that, like, so when you want to go off the rails, you can call him and he talks you out of it. You know what I mean? Like either me or D-Style will be your sponsor. You know what I'm saying? When you think you're gonna go off the rails, hey, like, man, you don't want to do this, Beeb.
I may have to call up one of the honey dips, man. Talk me out of it.
Honey dips. One of. He's got one of the honey dips called.
One of the honey dips.
One of the honey dips.
Go to Chuck E. Cheese or something.
You still got those up there?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah, play the arcades. I like that. I like the thing with the hoop. Shoot the hoops.
I love the arcades. Yeah,
I love the hoops.
Arcades.
Beep for three. Beep for three.
Oh, those are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those a lot, man.
3.
All right, before we get to the phones and the fighters and stuff like that of the year, Beeb, it's time for Manscaped.
Here we go, Daddy.
Let me tell you what, man. I got my brothers-in-law. I told you guys I was going to get my brothers-in-law for Christmas. Got it for them. They loved it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
You used the whole Manscaped catalog to buy the Christmas presents for the Lorda family.
That's right.
Everyone got something. Everyone got something.
Body wash. You're getting this. You're getting that. That's it. Exciting news from our friends at Manscaped. They just launched their 4th generation performance package. This ultimate package includes a lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Manscaped, the leaders in male grooming, have done it again to make your grooming game next level. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with the new Performance Package 4.0 by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code Ringside Reporter. The Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped has arrived, and it was worth the wait. Inside the package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, weed whacker, ear and nose and hair trimmer, crop preserver deodorant, and crop reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all your goodies. First off, the new Performance Package 4.0 includes the Lawnmower 4.0. This trimmer is insane, and I dare say the greatest trimmer ever. I did say that. I said it. Their 4th generation trimmer features cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. Thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology, the Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor A new multifunction on-off switch can engage a travel lock and gives you the ability to turn on a 4000K LED spotlight. You can turn that on and off when needed for a more precise shave. Oh, did I mention this trimmer is waterproof too? You thought that was good, but you want to take your grooming game even further, B, to the next level. The Performance Package 4.0 includes the Weed Whacker. The Weed Whacker is also waterproof and uses a 9,000 RPM motor powered 360-degree rotary dual blade system. This nose and ear hair trimmer provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks and snags. Seal the deal with Manscaped's liquid formulations, Crop Preserver deodorant, and Crop Reviver toner for a mid-game check. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to Performance Package 4.0. They have boxers, Manscaped boxers, which are great, by the way, and the Shed travel bag, which is also a lot of fun, man. It's great. It's great things. You can take it overnights and everything like that. It's awesome. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code Ringside Reporter at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping with the code Ringside Reporter at manscaped.com. There you go. Bring in the brand new year with Manscaped. How about that, babe? Huh? Brand new year, son. Can't believe that. Brand new year. All right, let's go to the phones here real quick. Ringside Robert's on hold. We're going to leave him on hold for just a second. We're going to go to Corey first. Corey Lee, 804. You're live.
Yo, what's going on, everybody, man? How's everybody doing today, man? How's everybody's holidays going and everything?
Good, man. Good.
Yeah.
What's he in a tunnel?
y'all had a good holiday?
We did. How about you? How was your holiday?
How did Santa treat you?
It was awesome, man. I got my grandma. Everybody was good, man. Everybody met up. We had some good food, man, and it was a good time, man. Good to see
What you have, man? What you guys cook? Raviolis?
It was good.
Cook some raviolis or what? What'd you have? What'd you guys have? Raviolis?
Turkey, stuffing, macaroni and cheese, greens, candy yams, and my grandma hooked it up, man. She's 75 years old. She's getting it in.
Wow.
Do you have any Hoppin' John?
Yeah.
What's Hoppin' John?
Hey, shout out to Grammy. Shout out to Grammy. Miss Lee, my grandmother. She's an awesome cook, man. Awesome.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Shout out to Corey Lee's grandmoms.
Let's talk this boxing though, man.
All right, shoot, baby. Shoot. What do you got?
Man. Shout out to my grandma, man. But Chad, so I want to talk about, man, I was seeing that as you guys all know, that PBC lately has been doing a lot of pay-per-view, attractions and stuff like that. Man, I really think people should look a little deeper than what we've seen on the surface. And, I just really think that people, should definitely question, what the PBC is going through right now. Because my personal opinion, I read a couple articles, the PBC might be breaking out of their contract sooner than later. They got a 3-year contract with Fox, and they might break out of it. You just right now they're putting a lot of stuff on pay-per-view, and they're fights that none of us want. None of us want to see it. Us hardcore fans, we don't want it. We don't want to pay for it. Nobody should have to pay for it. It's like, what the hell is boxing coming to? We really love this sport. We love watching the sport. And I feel like, us as boxing fans shouldn't have to endure, paying for something that we really, truly don't want. If you got a question, if you got to pay for it or not, you probably shouldn't pay for it. I'm going to be honest with you, man. He does that all the time, but he gets it every time. So, and it's just like, I just really feel like, moving forward, the PBC, whole model, may not be doing as well as they thought that they were going to do in the beginning, because we're already getting pay-per-views that we don't want to see. And the reason why is because they ran out of money. That's the only reason why these fights are on pay-per-view. It's because Al Heyman cannot pay their fighters what he promised them in pretty much in contract, Luis Ortiz has a minimum amount. Do you think if this fight was on pay-per-view, would Al Heyman be able to pay that? Of course, he's got money, but I just really feel like, there's a lot of question marks, man, with these pay-per-views. And I think, I think we should just open our eyes a little bit more. And I think there's something behind that. I think, the PBC might be going through some financial problems, in my personal opinion, reading up everything that I've seen. So, but with that being said, I didn't get to talk last week about Archer Betterby. That was the one fighter that I didn't get to talk about, man. And I really wanted to talk about him on the line real quick. I just want to say, man, Archer Betterby, in my personal opinion, is still very, very dangerous. And I think Archer Betterby is all wrong for Canelo Alvarez. I've been saying this for at least 3 years. Not as long as anyway, but if you go back on some of you guys' shows in 2019 and 2018.
I have to check the archives. I'll have to check the archives.
Yeah, we're going to have to check that. We got to check that one, Corey. We got to check.
I'm going to have to do some fact.
I made a personal.
I'm going to have to check the archives. I'm going to have to fact check. I'm going to have to fact check you.
Yeah, we got to get Georgie to check that over.
I got to fact check you, man. Got to fact check, man. Got to fact check.
I made a personal.
I have to fact check you, man.
All right, so look, I made a personal video about
Lois.
All right, look, I made a personal video about Archer Betterby being the most avoided fighter in 2018.
I need a link.
I made that video. That's a fact. So
I need a link.
I
We need a link.
Put a link in the chat. We got to look at it.
I don't know, man.
I'm gonna get I'm gonna get you a heavyweight in a minute, man. Tyson Fury's going down. But Kev, Betterby is really the one to watch out for at 175. Eddie Hearn is talking about he wants Canelo Alvarez to be the undisputed champion at 175. He thinks that's the next and more I guess you could say quote unquote easier route because Betterby has 2 of the 4 belts. And Bivol, those 2 fights with Eddie Hearn are easy to make. They're both can be worked out. I truly feel. But Betterby is definitely still has it. I know some people saying with his age and him being very inactive. I think he put on a dominant performance. And I talked to Blue Blood Sports about the Betterby fight, and I said, look, Betterby's punished. Betterby. I said Betterby punished Marcus Brown. I said, look, he punished his dude. He beat the shit out of his dude. He feels in his mind that Betterby didn't get punished. So I'm just like, I don't know what he was watching, but some of those punches that Betterby was hitting Brownie with were brutal. I don't think Marcus Brown will ever be the same. I think he got beat the fuck up. He is a 3 or 4 time offense of domestic violence. I don't believe in that shit. I just feel like he had what he had coming to him, man. Karma's a bitch, man. This is the worst.
Whoa! Putting death wishes on fighters now. You can't do that.
Yeah.
He's got a family, Corey.
Putting death wishes.
My goodness.
You wishing bad on people.
I got a family too. I don't believe in this shit.
You believe in karma when you wish bad on somebody. Come back to
people
you.
change, Corey. How about that? People can change.
You can't wish bad on people, man.
Oh my goodness.
But after, like you said, Eric, after your 3rd or 4th time, I mean, obviously it's not a mistake anymore.
I agree.
That's what y'all was saying. So I'm just saying,
That's it.
No, but you can't wish bad on people, man. That's negative energy that can come back to you.
How is it? Let me ask you this. So he's been up on domestic violence like 3 times. Has he seen any jail time out of this?
No. None.
How does that happen? How does that happen? How does that happen? How do you brought up on trial like 3 times and like come on?
Wow.
They got to get these guys out of here.
Sergey Kovalev's another one. Sergey Kovalev's another one. What about Sergey Kovalev smacking people around?
Mm-hmm. I think Kovalev's juiced with the mob or something like that.
I just feel like in this Marcus Brown situation, this is like your 3rd or 4th time. Like, what the hell is your problem? Like, he needs to get help. I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to, punch the man while he's down. Obviously, he got the worst ass beating of his entire life last weekend.
No, but you
And I
can't wish
just
bad
really
on
feel
people,
like it'll
Corey.
never be
It's
the
cold-blooded,
same.
Corey.
And
Corey,
Cold-blooded.
you can't wish bad on people,
I'm not
man.
wishing bad on anybody.
That'll come back to you, man. That's karma,
No,
man.
You
I'm
don't want to
not.
do that. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
You can't put negative energy out there in the
I'm
universe.
just saying,
You can't put negative energy out there in the
I'm
universe
not
like
putting
that, man.
negative energy.
Come on,
It's
man.
a fact, dude. This happened already.
You sound like Thanos. You want to snap your fingers and eliminate half the population. You can't do stuff like that. Come on.
Oh
Come
my,
on, Corey.
come on.
You're better
dude.
than that,
All
Corey.
right, man.
We
Better
believe
than
in you. All right, Corey, we're going to get running, man.
Corey,
All
Merry
right.
Christmas, man.
Merry
But
Christmas,
listen,
my
I
man.
need to
Don't
give
be
you-
so vicious, please.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to bring you back on. Hold on. I think I just muted you. Hold on. Go ahead. What now?
Finish it up. Go
I
ahead.
gave you the address, Ed. I gave these my address. So
Yeah, it
just
should
give
be
the
there. It
address
should.
to these, okay?
Listen,
Yeah,
we
it
already tracked the
should be there,
package. You'll
yeah.
probably get it by Tuesday. Take it easy.
Yeah, just relax. You know what I mean? It's free.
I mean,
what do you
what
come
y'all
on,
doing?
relax.
What
Just
y'all
I mean,
relax.
what
It
did
was
you
free,
what did you
son.
want? What did you want it
was
next?
free. What do you want,
Did
an
you want it next
overnighted
day
to you?
air? Did you want
Yeah,
it next
right?
day air?
Come on, Corey.
I mean, please.
Come on. Maron.
What do you want next day air?
I know. Like, yeah, get
Happy
out of here.
holidays, man.
He was
Happy
over there.
holidays.
Happy holidays, Corey. Yeah, he was over there.
Jesus.
Yeah, we should have next day. He FedExed it. I was use it on Christmas. Come on,
Jesus
stop
Christ.
it, man. What's the matter with you?
What do I do? Freaking take the beep chopper down there and drop it off? Christ.
I'm using the beep chopper to go down to Dallas this weekend to watch the game, son.
Jesus.
Jeez, Corey Lee. My goodness. All right, let's talk about the year in review, Beeb. Let's go over, what do you want to do first? Before we get to fighter of the year, let's do upset of the year. You want to do that one?
Yeah, let's do that one.
All right, let's do upset of the year. My pick for upset of the year is I have two of them, but I think you also have one of them too. My first pick is Kid Galahad versus Kiko Martinez. Martinez knocked out Kid Galahad. I was shocked in that fight, man. I was really shocked. Did not expect that. Didn't see it coming. B, what about you? What's your upset of the year here?
That was mine. Kiko Martinez upsetting Kid Galahad. That was a shot. And on paper,
Yeah.
odds wise, that was probably the largest odds.
Right.
Yeah.
It was huge, right?
A huge.
I mean, there was
underdog.
no way he's beating that guy.
He was the large. He was a bigger underdog than Kambosos was. He was a bigger underdog than Mauricio Lara was against Josh Warrington in the first fight.
You know what?
And not only that, he was losing the fight. He was like he lost like the first 4 rounts.
Yeah, he was getting handled.
And his eye was busted up. He
Boom.
He took defeat out of the jaws of victory.
He really did. He really did, man.
Or took victory out of the jaws of defeat. Excuse me. Got that. Sorry about that, public.
That's what the Patriots do. They take defeat out of the jaws of victory. So, my second one was Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos. I thought that was kind of an easy one, so I wanted to go with something a little bit different. Joe Lopez, 40 ounce, says Kambosos over Teo. Notorious VC said Logan Paul beating Floyd. Now, that would be an upset, but there was no judges in that fight. We all thought it happened.
We all scored it, though.
We all scored it that way, but you really can't say that because there was no judges in the fight. Okay. All right. So let's go to prospect of the year. My prospect of the year is going to be Xander Zayas.
Okay.
I think he's an up and comer. I think he's really good. I think he's got a really big upside to him, and he's gonna get to the point this year where I think we're gonna start talking about a title shot for him the year after. I think that's where he's gonna go. I mean, he's moving at a pretty quick pace.
Mine's gonna be Jared Anderson.
Big baby Anderson. I can't hate on that. Only reason I didn't pick him as prospect of the year is he already got quite a few fights under his belt.
See, we got 11.
Yeah, but he's like a man-child, son. He's gonna be fighting pretty soon for the title. He'll be fighting next year for the title. Son.
You think so? He's got 11 fights. I don't know, man. Still got a little time.
He's gonna get fast track, son. Notorious VC says Boots Ennis. Nah, I think
Ennis got like 20, he's got like 30
yeah,
fights.
Boots Ennis is too far into it to be considered a prospect.
He's ranked number 2, I think, by the IBF. Or something
right. He's ready for a title shot.
He's gonna be a mandatory like within months.
Right.
He's not a prospect anymore. I don't think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like Big Baby Anderson. I also like Xander. I mean, I like them both. I mean, either one I think is great, man. Either one of those guys, you can't go wrong with that. All right, let's go to fight of the year. Let's go to fight of the year. My fight of the year here. This was, to me, was kind of a no-brainer to me anyway. It was a back and forth kind of fight. Everybody knows how I feel about rematches and trilogies and all that other stuff. I love them. I can't get enough of them. Everybody's always heard me say, hey, I love rematches and I love trilogies. Wilder Fury 3 for me was the fight of the year. It was like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. I liked it.
I'm going to say Francisco Estrada versus Chocolatito Gonzalez was fight of the year for me because it was competitive. It could have gone either way.
Could have went either way.
I thought that the Fury Wilder 3 fight was very entertaining, but it was too one-sided for me.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. But there was definitely drama in that fight.
There's drama. Yeah,
for sure.
Drama. I'm gonna say Gonzalez versus Estrada 2 was fight of the year for me. I thought that was a very entertaining fight. You didn't
definitely more technical fight.
And at the end of the fight, you didn't. I had Gonzalez up by the score of 115 and 113, but the scores were all over the place. If you looked on Twitter, everyone had someone different winning. It was a type of fight where it was like back and forth, good ebb and flow. As soon as one guy started getting ahead, the other guy would just take the play right back. It was just a very entertaining fight, and I love those type of fights where at the end of the fight you don't know who's going to get the decision, and legitimately you say to yourself, this could go either way. How do the judges have it?
Chocolatito his career was just completely dead.
Yes,
after being knocked out in that second fight.
We both said
put it together.
Yeah, we both said Estrada was gonna win convincingly and possibly stop him.
Yeah, and that didn't happen, man.
And now you get a third fight coming, and usually when you have a third fight coming, that's because the first two were very good.
Yeah, and they were.
So
there you go.
That pretty much validates what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. I liked it. Both of them. I liked it. Let's see here. Let's go to fighter of the year.
This is a no-brainer, in my opinion.
Mine is Canelo Alvarez, fought 3 times this year. He fought 4 times in the calendar year. His other one was in December. Beat Yildirim, Saunders, and Caleb Plant, undisputed middleweight champion.
Yeah.
I think he got it last year. But I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer, right?
I'm going to go with Jake Paul. No, I'm like I'm going to go with Canelo Alvarez.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I was almost going to pick Jake Paul. I'll tell you because I'm thinking to myself as like, well, if Jake Paul, and I was going to do it based on numbers and everything like that, but
Canelo, it's a no-brainer. It's a
no-brainer. He still got him, so he got him with the numbers and everything like that, so
it's definitely a no-brainer.
So Canelo definitely the fight of the year. That was an easy one. Let's talk about knockout of the year. I got 2. For me, it was Valdez and Burchelt. I thought that was a knockout of the year. I mean, he came forward and he hit him flush and put Burchelt out, son. And that was one of those fights that everybody was looking forward to. I mean, and I tell you what, man, I picked Burchelt before the fight. I didn't. Valdez never really impressed me, and I knew Burchelt was bigger, but man, I tell you what, you talk about having somebody's number, he had his number, man.
That was a good victory, man. It was an upset. It was a shocker to me. I thought that I've never seen him look better in a fight than that performance.
No. So who was your knockout of the year?
Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley.
That was my second one. That was my second knockout of the year.
Right hand.
They were tied. That right hand was beautiful. It was placed well. It was thrown well.
That was like Thor. That was like the mighty Thor throwing Mjolnir.
I mean, that was
like
perfect shot.
That was like the God blast.
Was that really like a perfect shot? I mean, that was a perfect shot.
That was a perfect shot, man. I used to throw those one-hitter quitters back in the day.
Yeah, I can still throw them, but few and far between now.
Back in the day, man.
Back in the day, that's right. Nacho says Rosado versus Beck the Bully. Could have been upset of the year, or I guess knockout of the year. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was a big upset too, to be honest with you. I never thought that would happen. That's another one. I tell you what, you talk about like comebacks and stuff like that. Gabe Rosado this year. I mean, he's done a great job. Him and Chocolatito, I think, resurrected their careers. I'm surprised, and not just this year. I'm talking about, again, he was knocked out and then coming back like he did, and Rosado coming back like he did, because everybody wrote him off a long time.
That was a good victory for him.
It really was.
That was a good victory for him.
It really was. Let's talk here about Promoter of the Year. Promoter of the Year, this is one. This is an easy one for me. I mean, listen, Fight of the Year, we had Wilder Fury. I had Knockout of the Year. I had Valdez Burchelt. Prospect of the Year, Xander Zayas. What do they all have in common? Top rank. No brainer, man. Top rank Promoter of the Year.
I'm gonna go with Eddie Hearn.
Really? I thought that Top Rank put on the best fights. No.
Well, let's look at some of the most surprisingly good upsets this year. Right, that Kiko Martinez fight.
That was a good one. That was a good fight. Also, that was a decent fight,
and it was a fun fight to watch.
Yeah.
Then that Kambosos fight, right? Then you had the Usyk Joshua fight, right? I think Eddie Hearn's been more consistent throughout. And then Katie Taylor, right? What's his name? Conor Benn. I think Eddie's done a great job building his fighters, putting on a lot of quality cards all year round, right?
They do put on good cards.
He's been more consistent. He's offered the most bang for the buck. He's given us the most shows this year, I would say, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go with Eddie Hearn. But again, you make a good case for Top Rank, but you're going for those were some great fights. Don't get me wrong, that you mentioned, but Eddie Hearn was more consistent throughout the year.
Okay,
every month you got a card, sometimes 2 or 3.
Sometimes not good cards though. But Top Rank is the same way. Top Rank is a lot of the same way, where some of the cards are like hit or miss.
I would say that there have been fewer poor cards on the zone this year than maybe Top Rank had put on this year. Because Top Rank in the beginning of the year, a lot of those cards on ESPN Plus, they weren't the greatest. You know what I mean? Top Rank hasn't put on as many cards as Eddie Hearn's put out. And Eddie Hearn, did the fight with Canelo, came over and did that fight in the United States. And I think that was the largest indoor attendance ever in the United States in the sport of boxing. So I just think Eddie did a great job.
Well, Boxing with Sean is going to take umbrage with you, Beeb. And everybody knows that I am Boxing with Sean's favorite podcaster. He says Eddie got all his fighters beat. Does that make a great promoter?
Yes, it does. And I'll tell you why. It's not a promoter's job to protect the fighter. It's a promoter's job to put on a great show. That's what a promoter's job is. You're supposed to put on the best fights possible. So you say to yourself, who did he get beat? Who got beat? Anthony Joshua was his only fighter that got beat.
That was his guy. Kid Galahad. Wasn't Kid Galahad?
Kid Galahad, I'm not sure if he's an official matchroom fighter. He may be. I'm not sure.
I thought he was. Yeah, but
that's 2 guys. I'm not sure if Kid Galahad signed to him. But okay, that's 2 guys, Joshua and Kid Galahad. Who else? Mikey Garcia is a freelancer, right? Conor Benn won.
Well, no, Garcia didn't. Well, is he a freelancer or did he sign up with them?
No, he's a freelancer.
Boxing with Sean says, I'm just putting it out there. I wouldn't want to be his fighter. You know what? I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't either. You saw what he did to Kell Brook.
Listen, I'd rather be his fighter than PBC's. And look at Terrence Crawford. He made a lot of money. That's great. But he's got his promoter not really promoting him. Eddie Hearn is out there promoting his fighters. He's out there talking about his fighters. He's out there doing interviews, talking about his events.
He's always out there. He's always
Mikey's not tied to anyone. So again, when you put on, here's the thing, Boxing with Sean. Here's the thing, Boxing with Sean. You can't complain about the best not fighting the best and then trashing promoters when they give you fights that aren't competitive. When you put on a competitive fight, your fighter can lose. But again, at the end of the day, it's not a promoter's job to protect his fighter. That's the manager's job. The promoter's job is to put on the best fights possible, the fights that people want to pay to see. No one wants to see a one-sided fight. So when you're in there, that Usyk Joshua fight was an entertaining fight. And here's another thing. Here's another thing too. He is protecting his fighters in one sense because they all have rematch clauses. Yep. So I'm going to have to disagree with you there. I respectfully disagree with what you're saying. Joshua's got a rematch coming up, right? Kid Galahad's got a rematch clause as well. So.
Kid Galahad, are they going to rematch that fight? They're going to run that back?
They're probably going to run it back if he wants. Well, they're contemplating on whether Kid Galahad should move up in weight because he was dead on the scales. He can't make featherweight now.
Yeah,
he's tough, dying. Man. He's killing himself.
And what's bad is that he doesn't really have any power either. So when he moves up in weight, he's going to be better hydrated he's going to have he may have a rough time dealing with the strength of the fighters up that way too. So.
Listen,
I don't know.
Brook wanted to fight Golovkin, right? Brook did what he wanted to do. Hearn tried to talk him out of it. He wanted it. So it is what it is.
There you go. All right. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we can't have it both ways. We complain when we get these mismatches, right? But then when you match a guy tough, then you're gonna yell at the promoter for getting his guy beat. Come on, you can't have it both ways.
And I agree. I know where Boxing with Sean is coming from. He says he's not complaining, just putting it out there and not connected with any promoter. I get that. No, I get that. It's just
Anthony Joshua was favored to win. Okay. Kid Galahad was favored to win. They weren't supposed to lose those fights.
I think we picked Joshua to win, didn't we?
We picked Joshua.
Yeah.
Nobody picked Martinez.
Picked Kiko Martinez.
So Eddie Hearn did not get these fighters beat. They got themselves beat. They lost. Eddie Hearn didn't lose.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways. They were Joshua was a 3-1 favorite over Usyk. Kid Galahad was like a 20-1 favorite over Kiko Martinez.
Ridiculous.
You can't sit there and say Eddie Hearn got them beat when they were heavily favored. Well, I'm not going to say Joshua was heavily, but they were both favored to win. They were supposed to win. You can't have it both ways. You can't sit there and yell at PBC that PBC is protecting Tank, and now Eddie Hearn's giving you a good matchups. Like Eddie Hearn said, that Jojo Diaz versus Devin Haney. That was a good fight. That was a better fight on paper than Tank's fight versus Isaac Cruz. Now, Isaac Cruz versus Tank Davis turned out to be a more competitive fight, but on paper it wasn't. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can't have it
all
both
right.
ways.
Last but not least, Beeb, we have the Ringside Reporter Caller of the Year. My Caller of the Year, and I believe this is going to be unanimous, is our friend Ringside Robert. Does it for us every week, calls in, just like Old Faithful, Beeb. He's always on the phone, always gives us great takes. He doesn't suck when he calls in. He gets to the point. Great analytics. He texts us all the time with news. I love it. My pick for Caller of the Year, easy choice, probably the easiest choice we've had today, Ringside Robert. Beeb, as a formality, I'm going to give it to you, and he will make it unanimous, and then we're going to bring Ringside Robert on the line here.
You think I'm going to give it to that weasel? You think I'm going to give him Caller of the Year just because he calls in every week and kisses up to you, and then you want to give him Caller of the Year?
How dare you? What do you
the kid comes in and basically says all the politically correct, matter-of-factly things he's supposed to say, right? Leaves nothing to the imagination, right? I'm going to go with the guy that just speaks off the cuff, that goes against the grain, that just doesn't go with popular opinion, that puts his neck out there, I'm going to go with Jesse Reekin. Jesse Reekin's caller here. You know why? Because he doesn't call in every week. But when he calls,
that's kind of the point of caller of the year, right?
No, but when he calls, no, I'm going for quality over quantity.
Oh.
When Jesse Reekin does call in, he drops gems. He gives us freestyles.
Wood last year, what a dud pick that was. Wood, you picked Wood as caller of the year. I couldn't think of a bigger screw up than that. And now you're picking Jesse Reekin as your caller of the year?
Jesse Reekin's my caller of the year.
Listen, I'm going to have to make an executive decision.
Nope. Leave it to the chat to break.
What do you mean? No. What do you mean? No.
Leave it to the chat to break the tie.
Chat, does Jesse Reekin get the nod here, or does Ringside Robbie get caller of the year? Corey Lee is not in the running for caller of the year. You can have two choices. Robert.
He's my runner-up, Corey Lee.
He's your runner-up, Corey Lee. All right. So I guess we're going to have to come back to this. Let's go to the phones. Louis Reyes, there's a vote for Robert. All right. We're going to go to 760. And then we're going to go to Ringside.
Hey, what's
Brian.
going on, fellas?
Brian, what's the word?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm a little disappointed, man. You guys didn't vote for me caller of the year, but Eric hangs up on me so much.
I think that was an easy pick, Brian.
You.
I got to be honest with you. I mean, I don't even know that you were in the running. I got to be honest. But you do a great job of sending Beeb shirts and everything and dressing him up like Akim Barak and everything like that. He looks good every week. He looks presentable. You know what I mean?
Man, look, I voted for myself, but I want to send the shirts to you. I should have sent you some. I keep telling you, I'm gonna send you some California shirts. That shirt you got on right now, I see how it's looking. Take it and throw it in the trash.
Cincinnati, son.
That shirt is so old it can walk around by itself.
Yeah.
It's so old it can walk around by itself.
You don't even watch it. You don't even watch it.
It's brand new.
You tripping, man.
It's brand new, son.
I got the
poll
on
the Cincinnati jersey, son.
Look.
Number
I got
one
the poll in the chat.
college team, and they're favored to win it all.
Let's get back to this caller. Let's get back to the caller of the year. I was going to vote
the odds
for
on
myself.
that, KB, by the way.
Okay, number one, me. But he said Jesse Reekin. I might give it to Jesse Reekin too. I'm gonna get it to him.
Vote, Brian. I put the poll in the chat. Brian, I put the poll in the chat. Vote for Jesse.
Vote for Jesse.
Everyone vote for Jesse Reekin.
I'm gonna vote for Jesse, man.
You gotta do it in the chat. Brian,
Hey, hold on.
Brian, you gotta put it in the chat.
Hey,
Brian, go in the chat and vote for Jesse Reekin on the poll, please.
Is ridiculous.
Okay. Hey, but look, the reason why I called, I like you guys, what you were saying, all the votes and everything, it's all good. But, man, I called to put you guys on blast. I'm sorry. I got to do this, man.
What do we do now?
Where is my, what is it called? My Manscaped. Where's my Manscaped? I done been to the post office banging on them like, hey, where are my Manscaped products? They said, we don't know. Where is it at?
Another one, Beeb. Another one. Just expects us to FedEx it.
I'm over here.
You're all the way over on the other side of the planet, son. You're over there in California on the other side of the world.
Listen, the shipping is 5 to 7 business days.
5.
It's 5.
To 7,
when I get
son,
when I get something from California,
it's free.
When I get my beauty products, my Aura Gold Vitamin C Depeeler from California,
it's very
and
good.
I get
very
my
good stuff,
vitamin C cleanser.
Yes.
That's a 5 to 7 day ship.
At least.
Bare minimum.
What do you think? We're Amazon, son? What do you think? We're Amazon? Like we're driving the truck and then dropping it off at your home?
Listen, man. I've been counting down. It's been a month, man. I'm over here looking like Grizzly Adams. I was waiting on it, man. Send me my Manscaped.
It's coming, man. It's coming.
It's coming.
It's been a month.
You know, it cost me $20 to send Brian's too. It was like $20-some to send Brian because he's out there in California. I'm like, man.
For real?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dang,
because I
man.
FedExed it. I FedExed
Hey,
him.
you should have told me, man. I could have came and picked it up from you, man, in the
That's
truck,
right.
man. Beep. But hey, man, you guys do a good job, man. I just want to let you guys know that. You know what I'm saying? Every year I've been listening to you guys, man. You guys do a great job, man. Beeb got mad knowledge. Eric is a fan of Beeb, I think.
what does that even
baby,
mean?
Okay. My kids.
Beeb's got mad knowledge, and I'm a fan of Beeb. What does that even mean?
Yeah. Man. Beeb's the man. Beeb's the man.
Well, that's why you send him clothes. That's why you send him clothes. You want to be his man.
Well, that was for Christmas.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
your brothers, your friends, your family. It was just a Christmas present, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But
all year round.
man, I'm gonna send you. Listen, I'm gonna send you some shirts. That way you can take them shirts and throw them, especially Cincinnati. I'm gonna send you some Lakers,
world
I'm gonna
champs,
send you
son.
some Raiders, some Rams.
They're about to win the Super Bowl this year.
They're
They're about to win the college title. Beeb, what's the odds on that game? Cincinnati's favored by like 3 or 4 touchdowns in that game.
What's the game?
Cincinnati versus Alabama.
Cincinnati versus Alabama.
Easy work. We're favored by like 3-4 touchdowns in that game.
Okay, you can have that one, but
that's right.
We'll take the NFL, the NBA.
Got the NFL. We got the NFL on lock too, man. They just won like 50-0 today.
I don't know.
Playing Kansas City, they're gonna wax Kansas City next week. We did. We beat the Ravens today.
Cincinnati is a plus 375. Alabama.
Boom.
Alabama is giving Cincinnati 13.5 points.
Nothing. We might as well be favored in that game. That's nothing. Beeb, that's an easy win. That's hard. Those are like almost even odds right there.
You guys are gonna get waxed. Remember that movie? The Warriors? Remember that movie, The Warriors?
Everybody in the chat, hit the motherfucking like button.
Remember that movie in The Warriors when at the end when the Warriors are at Coney Island, they're on the beach.
That's gonna be us in Texas.
They just got home, right?
Tide.
And then the Rogues
come out to play.
Then the Rogues pull up, and then they're on the beach, and he goes like this to him: "You're dead, all of you." And you know it.
Yeah.
That's
cold, didn't you?
That's Cincinnati. That's Cincinnati. You're dead.
That's us talking Alabama, right?
You're dead. All of you.
He's got that voice down cold.
You're dead. All of you. And you know it.
You guys are crazy, man.
All right, Brian, we're going to get running, man.
Hey, you guys enjoy your New Year's and everything, man. Hit them up, find out about my Manscaped, man. We can have some
this dude,
Don't
man.
worry,
This
man.
dude, boy.
Don't worry, man. You'll be prime and ready in a couple of days. Don't worry.
Beeb was an extra in the Warriors movie. That was the best movie ever, wasn't it?
Oh, it was the best.
All right, Beeb. Well, I hate to break the news to you. The chat has spoken. With 18 votes, a little over. Yeah, quick votes. Quick thing here. I'm going to bring on the caller of the year.
Robbie gets it, 83-17.
Robert.
He probably went in
caller
there.
of the year.
He probably went in there and voted for himself 1,000 times.
He did not vote for himself 1,000 times.
Fucking
What's the matter
weasel.
with you?
No.
Oh,
that little weasel.
what's the matter with you?
Hey, Robbie, Merry Christmas, buddy. How you doing? Robbie, how you doing,
First
brother?
of all, I'm doing fine. Thank you, Joe, for being so negative. I really appreciate
Exactly,
that.
exactly,
negative.
Robert.
Me and you were great friends.
I thought it was going to be unanimous.
Me and
Should
you
have been
were great
unanimous.
friends. We go all the way back to 2016. We've known each other for 5 years.
2016.
Yeah, well, actually, I think longer than that, Joe. I think it was like
He blocks those memories out, Robert. Don't
14 or
worry about that.
15, Anyway,
longer than that. He goes,
but no, seriously,
another fucking year. Big deal.
Yeah.
Why are you gonna be so tick-tacky?
Yeah.
This is why you don't get caller of the year.
Yeah,
These are the reasons why you don't get caller of the year.
First of all,
Messi Weekend calls in, gets right to the point. Doesn't beat around the bush.
You want me to get to the point?
Give him his time, Beeb.
Okay.
Give him his time.
Go ahead,
First of all, I agree with you, Joe. I think Eddie Hearn does get promoter of the year. I think if you compare what ESPN Plus and DAZN do, I think DAZN put on the better cards in 2021.
Yeah.
So,
Here's the thing, Robbie. Here's the thing.
Okay.
You could argue that Fury Wilder 3 was probably the biggest event of. Well, no. Canelo versus
correct.
Plant. Canelo versus Plant got the most pay-per-view buys. So you could say that was the most lucrative.
Yeah.
That was the most lucrative event.
Right.
The most memorable event of the year would probably be Wilder Fury 3. But my point is when you talk about consistency, and you and I we text back and forth all the time. We're talking about these DAZN cards. Like we're always asking. We're saying, well, what time is the DAZN card on today? You're gonna watch this. You're gonna watch that. Like what I mean? Like because they're putting on so much boxing, we're almost having to remind ourselves to make sure we watch it because there's so many cards. You know what I mean?
And keep one thing in mind with DAZN, it's very easy to go back in the archives and watch.
Much easier. With ESPN
Plus, if you don't watch them live, you might as well forget it because it's very difficult to access their archives.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I mean, it's fairly easy for me, but then again, I have a master's degree in IT, so I don't know. Saying
they bury it, Eric. They bury the fights on ESPN Plus.
Tool, there's a search bar up top where you can just type in the name of it.
Yeah, and then when you put the search bar in and you put the fight in, it gives you all these other fights that happened 6 years ago. Come on.
Exactly. With
trying to be a contrarian here. You're being a contrarian.
I'm the contrarian.
Well, with DAZN, all you got to do is go to the schedule, bring up the day you want, and there's the fight.
Right there. It's way more user-friendly than ESPN Plus.
Thank you to Notorious VC, and he wants me to ask Robert, the caller of the year, for his retirement of the year. Who was the guy that you retired?
Retirement of the year.
Who's the retirement of the year?
Wow. Well, we just had a couple of them last week. God, I'm trying to think now who I retired last week.
Derek Chisora?
Good Lord. That's a good yeah, well, I think Chisora should, I think he's the retirement of the year. I hope to God he gets out. I mean, he's had a great career, but I think it's time for him to leave. But so that would be my retirement of the year. But I guarantee you, in 2022, just because of Father Time and the fact that he took the whole year off, the leading candidate for retirement of the year is Triple G. At his age, he can't take a whole. At his age, he can't take a whole year off and expect to be effective next year. And let's face it, if he goes through with that fight in Japan, unless he knocks out Murata, he's not going to get the decision.
You know who I was thinking is going to be retirement of the year coming up is Keith Thurman. I think Keith Thurman, that Mario Barrios fight, I think is a little bit tougher than he thinks. And there's another guy who's been out for a while.
There's another dude that's been out of the ring for 31 months, and his first fight back is going to be an $80 pay-per-view that nobody's going to pay for.
No.
That Luis Ortiz?
Who the hell is going to watch Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. That's a tough sell.
That's a tough sell. And the undercard is okay, but it's not worth buying you know what I mean? Yeah. It doesn't ship me over the edge to buy, the pay-per-view.
And look, there was rumors last year that Fox was going to get out of that PBC deal. And well, they must have cozied up to him or something, because Fox is delivering them New Year's Day special. They're allowing it to be a Fox pay-per-view in February. That's going to be a Fox pay-per-view.
That's a terrible fight.
PBC, I don't know what remember when they first came out, all fights are going to be free and we're going to give you the best fights. They have not lived up to what they promised.
No, they haven't.
No, they really haven't. No, I agree with that.
And let's face it, there are other places now where you can watch boxing. PBC better get their act together, or Fox is eventually going to say, you know what, we're tired of losing money with you.
Yeah, I would go along with that for sure. Absolutely. There you go.
And so that's my opinion on all that.
Let me ask you a question, Robert. Let me ask you, okay, so did you catch the fights on Fox yesterday?
Yes.
Let me ask you about Vito Mielnicki, because I asked Beeb earlier, and do you think this guy is a champ someday?
No, I don't. I think out of all the guys that we watched yesterday, the future champion is going to be the kid from Michigan, Joey Spencer. I think he will be a future champion. Mielnicki, he's only 19, so we can't be too critical of him. But yeah. I don't see him ever progressing to the point where he's going to be able to fight for a world title. And what division are you going to have him fight in? They have him fighting at 154 now. Are you going to keep him at 154? What happens if he moves up to middleweight? Right now, there's some people on there that he couldn't deal with. Demetrius Andrade would tear him apart. There are other guys who would tear him apart. I don't see a championship future for him. However, Joey Spencer's he's 2 years older and he's had 14 fights, and he already shows like he's got promise. So that's my opinion on those two.
What about the other guy, Yoelvis Gomez?
It's a little early, but I like what I see so far.
Yeah, I thought he handled
5 fights.
Collard pretty well, and I was really impressed the way he handled Collard.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. That was impressive. So I'm looking forward to see what they do with him next.
Yeah.
But you talk about promotions that are going downhill. You have to honestly say Golden Boy and PBC are falling behind Matchroom and Top Rank.
Well, I would think Golden Boy more than anybody right now is in the toilet. I mean, they've got zero going on.
That's why I put them. That's why I put them last.
Yeah, they have got absolutely squat going on. So yeah, man, I don't know. That's
now I know Richard Schaefer has started his own company. I'm waiting to see what kind of fighters he gets and what kind of promotional things he puts together and who he decides to do them with.
Well, he's in, is it Probellum that he started or that he's in now? It's Probellum?
Yeah.
I guess I don't know if he's concentrating more on European fighters or what.
He manages Joe Joyce too, I think. And he's managing, he's managing Nonito Donaire. He works with Mikey Garcia as well. Yep. So
I don't know why PBC doesn't put him in, or none of these other guys put him in. I guess maybe because they can't trust him with the Golden Boy thing, because I mean, once you do that, I mean, you may do that and get some benefit out of it, but over long term, over the long haul, I mean,
he was in cahoots, I think, with PBC because he was gonna go over to PBC, but then De La Hoya had a no compete clause in his contract and he couldn't.
Yeah.
So Floyd was working with Golden Boy solely because of Richard Schaefer. He has a good relationship with a lot of people.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any bad blood with anyone except for probably Oscar. But Oscar's a goofball anyways, but
yeah, he really is.
That's why Oscar is currently running the worst boxing promotion company in the business right now.
Well, that's right. Sea Lion. Go ahead.
If I was a fighter with Golden Boy, I'd be asking a lot of questions of Eric Gomez and other people in charge of that. Like, hey, what are you going to do with my career?
Yeah, I agree.
Interesting.
C. Lion says that he's managing John Jones too. I remember hearing that. Like
that's correct.
I remember hearing that. Yeah,
that's correct as well.
He manages John Jones. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's doing well for himself. I like Richard.
Yeah, yeah, he is. He's got a good head for the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wonder what network he's going to wind up being affiliated with. Whether he's going to go to DAZN or whether he's going to go to ESPN or PBC or what he'll do.
I don't know that he goes. I don't know that he does any of those, to be honest with you. I mean, he's like a manager of fighters. He's not really promoting anything.
He's starting up his own promotional company, and he is going to be focusing on overseas fights.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
but he was in the ring for Nonito Donair's last fight. He was there, so he's involved. He's involved with some of these PBC events as well.
Oh, and you talk about a guy that resurrected his career. There's a guy, Nonito Donair. I thought he was going to be retired a long time ago.
Yeah.
So
a lot of comeback stories.
That's comeback. He's comeback of the year.
Older fighters are making good comebacks. I tell you, but it's going to be an interesting 2022. We'll see what fights we get, how good they turn out to be. It'll be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Ryan Garcia? You think Ryan Garcia is going to finally get something going here in 2022 or what?
You know who he's in talks with? Who's the guy that Tank Davis just beat? Isaac Cruz?
Isaac Cruz, yeah.
Why would you? What is that? I mean, for real, what is that?
Everybody and their brothers calling out Kambosos now. They think he's low-hanging fruit. We'll see.
Well, yeah, right. But look at like Isaac Cruz. That's who you call out?
Yeah,
the guy that just got beat.
I want to see Ryan Garcia. I want to see Ryan Garcia actually fight a guy like JoJo Diaz, like he was supposed to do in the first place.
He ain't taking that fight,
because
son.
Yeah, JoJo lost. JoJo lost that fight, but he gave a good account of himself.
I think he did.
And I think if Ryan Garcia wants to put himself back on the stage where he might be open for possible title fights, I think JoJo Diaz would be a much better opponent. Yes, Isaac Cruz gave a good account of himself against Davis, but that's because Davis probably wasn't on top of his game that night. I don't. Maybe Davis took Cruz a little lightly, but I would much rather see Garcia fight. I would much rather see Ryan Garcia fight somebody like JoJo Diaz, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. All right, Robert, we're going to get running here, man. Congratulations. Caller of the year goes to Ringside Robert.
Okay, see you guys later.
All right, man.
Just fucking fixed.
You're such a jerk.
All those fucking ghost accounts in the chat voting for him.
Nacho says the reports are Golden Boy is trying to get Garcia to fight 3 times next year. I'd sell it for like once or twice, Yeah,
I believe it when I see it.
I tell you what, man. I don't know why in the world they called out Isaac Cruz for that fight. I mean, there's a guy who just lost, and it wasn't like you can make. I couldn't listen. The fight was close. I couldn't make a case for Cruz winning that fight, though.
No.
You know what I mean?
Some people had it a draw. Some people did have Cruz. Most people either had it a draw or they had Tank winning. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I couldn't really make a case for Cruz to win that fight.
I didn't think he won, but I don't know.
It was good. It was a good fight. It was a good.
It was a fun fight to watch. No doubt about it.
But yeah. So I don't really understand the point of calling out a guy who just lost to Tank.
Well, here's the thing.
It's a little odd. I know what they're doing.
Yeah, we're gonna try and beat him better than you did. Whatever.
Right.
Whatever, man.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. That's just not a. It's a weird look. It's a weird look for Garcia.
Hopefully, Kambosos can bring a lot of attention to this division and just fight everybody. Like if Kambosos, I believe Kambosos will fight someone decent next. Like he'll either fight Lomachenko or Devin Haney next. I don't think he'll fight a soft touch next.
I'm going to tell you something. I would not be surprised if he fought Garcia next. I would not be surprised if you fought Ryan Garcia next.
Ryan Garcia?
Because honestly, that's where the money is. That's going to get you more money than Lomachenko. It's going to get you more money than Devin Haney. And arguably, it's easier than either one of those two guys.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Lomachenko would beat Kambosos. I think Devin Haney would beat Kambosos. I don't know. What do you think, Tank and Kambosos? Maybe that'd be a tough fight for Tank, because it's hard for me to gauge Tank, man, because Tank, hasn't really fought tough guys, except for who was the guy that I thought he fought there? The Jose Pedraza was a good fight for him. I thought that was a good win. Tank
is another one that could bring a big payday there. I know he sells out gates, but as far as his pay-per-view, his last pay-per-view tanked. So, Nacho was saying that he says Kambosos isn't fighting Loma next.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
He probably isn't. I'm not saying he is, but I think Loma would beat him. He could. You never know though, because Loma's ranked high in I think he's ranked number 1 in the WBO. I think Loma's ranked pretty high in all 3 sanctioning bodies.
If they wanted that fight, I think they can push to get it.
Yeah, Bob's got a good relationship with the WBO. He can.
And Loma will go anywhere in the world to fight you.
Yeah, don't be so quick to say that fight isn't going to happen, because it could happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Team Batman says Loma beats him. Yeah, I think so.
I think Loma beats him too.
Well, I thought Teofimo was going to beat him, so what do I know? At the end of the day,
I think Devin Haney beats him too.
Yeah,
if I'm them, I'm taking the Devin Haney fight next and fighting him on Australia. That would be my next move.
It depends on who brings the most money. I would just go where the money is, because you don't know how long this is going to last.
Who's going to bring more money, Devin Haney or Lomachenko? I think it's comparable, because I think
that's comparable. What about Garcia though? Is what I'm saying.
If they go to Australia, I don't think Garcia would go to Australia to fight him.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Yeah.
I know Loma and Haney would go to Australia to fight him. I don't know if Garcia would.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just my opinion, but I could be wrong.
Lot to unpack there, a lot to work out.
Yeah.
So, all right. News and rumors here. David Diamante, and you may recognize his name. He's the announcer for, what is it, DAZN?
DAZN, correct.
He does like a lot of DAZN cars. He's the guy with the dreads, the long hair, the down to the floor kind of dreads.
I like him, man.
He's a nice guy, man.
He's a real nice guy. My heart goes out to him.
He was seriously injured in a motorcycle crash last week, man. This was bad, man. So David Diamante contacted, I think it was Thomas Hauser from Boxing Scene, and wanted to put the following message out. Quote, this is from David Diamante. I sustained severe injuries on Monday, December 20th. On Tuesday morning, a team of remarkable neurosurgeons led by Dr. Joseph Pion rebuilt my spine. They rebuilt his spine, guys. You have any idea how much trauma that had to put on him? How much physical trauma he was in? On Wednesday night, with great effort, I was able to stand for a few seconds with assistance and take a few small steps with a walker. That is amazing. He said, that's a good sign. I'm going to walk again. Once my condition is stable, I'll be transferred to a rehab facility. So thoughts and prayers with him and his family. My gosh.
That's horrible, man.
The fact that they rebuilt his spine, he was walking the next day or a couple days later, just a couple steps, but it doesn't matter. I mean, he'll be able to walk again. He definitely looks like he'll get stronger to walk again, man.
Those motorcycles are tough, man.
I've heard of so many people being injured, killed in motorcycle accidents. It seems like a lot of people, like, they get on, they love them, and everyone, it's like they all love them. I've never been on a motorcycle, so I don't know. I mean, I like the looks of them and everything like that, but I've never been on one. I would never ride one and all that other stuff.
I hate them.
Do you? Have you ever rode one or anything?
I rode a moped, but I've been on the back of motorcycles, and it's scary. They're scary. I don't like them.
They are. Yeah, they're pretty scary. So that's why I won't ride one, because I'm not confident I can even drive one.
Yeah.
I could probably drive like a Vespa or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of
those little scooters. Probably do that. I don't know. Dillian White. Probably not next for Tyson Fury. White is apparently asking for 45% of the purse. But now B pointed out to me that he's an interim champion, and the WBC rules say interim champions do get 45%.
If it goes to purse bids. Yeah.
If it goes to purse bids. So this is a difficult one for me, man. just fight him. He deserves the shot. You know he deserves a shot. And then listen, if that's what it says, if they said he's supposed to get 45% in the contract, and the WBC says he's supposed to get 45, then give him 45% and fight the guy. What is the problem here?
Yeah, and then they're talking
it's a huge money fight over in England.
Yeah, and they're
no
talking
question. And
they're talking about the fight giving him 80-20, and I'm come on, man. Think about think about the UK pay-per-views that it'll do. Think about how much seats it'll sell out in a stadium over there. Who else you gonna fight? You're gonna fight Andrew Ruiz? You think Andrew Ruiz is gonna go 80-20 with you?
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Yeah, Eddie Ruiz. Yeah,
and even if Andy Ruiz does go 80-20 with you, 80-20 of a much smaller pot. So I don't understand. And then they threw other names out there like Joseph Parker. They're best friends. They're not fighting. What is Joseph Parker going to bring to the table? Oh, we'll just defend the lineal title and the ring title. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
But again, we're gonna have to wait this out to see what the arbiter says. But if this they're saying that they want to fight sometime in February or March, and the arbitration won't be done until April. So they're planning on fighting.
That's why they want to fight. Yeah, I read that too. That's why they want to fight too. And I think, you know what? Honestly, I think that makes sense.
And they can't put the WBC title on the line until the arbitration is over. So it'll be a non-title,
right?
Yeah, it'll be a non-title fight. I'm not against that, but at some point, defend this title. Don't vacate it like you vacated the titles before, or you didn't vacate it before, but you ended up getting stripped before. Just hold on to the title. Be the heavyweight champion. Hold on to your title. Defend your championship with honor, and just do what you're supposed to do as a champion.
He's got a block when it comes to this title fight. When it comes to titles and everything, it's like a self-sabotage kind of thing. Yeah. You know how people get to the point, you've known people like this through your life, where they will get to the absolute point where they're going to finish, and then for whatever reason, they just don't.
It's almost like Aram.
It's always that self-sabotage thing, man.
It's almost like Aram and Frank Warren have a bone to pick with Eddie Hearn. They're trying to freeze Eddie Hearn out. They're concerned about their cut of the money, right? They don't want to split. They don't want to split the money with Eddie Hearn. It seems like, you know what I mean. They don't.
Warren doesn't like Eddie Hearn, does he?
Warren doesn't get along with Eddie Hearn. Yeah. I don't think Aram particularly likes Eddie Hearn either. He'll do business with him if he has to.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't have to, he won't.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
who knows? Refreshing story coming out over here. Caleb Plant, former IBF super middleweight champion of the world, friend of the show, Caleb Sweet Hands Plant, returned to his hometown of Ashland City, Tennessee. Beeb, get this, to give out 100 hams to local families. How about that?
Beautiful.
Christmas hams. How about that? Good stuff. Good stuff.
Wish Caleb Plant the best.
Yeah, he's great, man. He really is. Jake Paul, Beeb, has called out Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. for his next fight. They have reportedly, according to Chavez Jr., an offer was made. Beeb, what do you think of this? Do you think that fight comes off?
Yeah, I think it's a great fight for him.
It's who?
So funny for both guys.
Yeah.
For both guys, it's great.
This is crazy, right?
Chavez Jr. can make some money here, and I think Jake Paul can get a legitimate boxer under his belt. I think Jake Paul could beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Really?
Right, yep.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I tell you, I was joking about this on Twitter, but I tell you what, I don't know that he beats Chavez Jr.
But isn't that good that you don't know?
Yeah.
Anderson Silva, right? I picked him to beat Chavez Jr., but a lot of people didn't think he was going to do it.
I didn't think he could be. I didn't think he was going to beat Chavez Jr.
But he beat him. But he beat him bad.
He beat him decisively. It was bad, and he got the decision in Mexico.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I mean,
it was
that right there has got to be unheard of, right?
And Chavez hasn't looked good in a while, as Nacho just mentioned in the chat. I think he's correct.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know, man.
He hasn't looked
interesting
good.
Fight.
He hasn't
That's
looked
an
good in a
interesting
while.
fight, right?
And Jake Paul's a lot bigger. He's younger. He's stronger. He can hit harder.
Yeah.
Chavez
Man.
Jr.'s got a very leaky defense. I think Jake Paul wins. I think
Wow.
may even stop him.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'd love to see the fight. Either way, I'd love to see the fight. So I can't wait. John Ryder versus Daniel Jacobs is set for February 12th. I think that's a good fight.
That's a
That'll
good
be
fight.
when it comes out. Yeah. So something to look forward to in the new year.
Yeah.
Quick question. Will Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford take place this year or next? I mean, in 2022?
Next year?
Yeah.
No.
I'm not sure that it does either. I'll be honest with
He's
you.
going to fight Ugas.
He'll get those belts.
And then he's going to have to fight a mandatory after that.
Or he'll move up and wait.
Yeah.
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 I don't think Spence wants anything to do with him.
I don't think Spence wants anything to do with Crawford. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know what his beef is. I don't know if he doesn't like him or what the deal is. Nacho says he's moving up to 154. He thinks he's going to move up to 154 also. So, yeah, there you go. Any fights you're looking forward to seeing next year?
I'm looking forward to seeing the Usyk-Joshua rematch because I want to see if Joshua can do anything differently. I'm hoping these lightweights get it on. I'm hoping, Kambosos fights either Devin Haney or he fights Lomachenko. I'm not going to hope for Spence versus Crawford because I don't think I'm going to get it. I'd love to see Canelo try to go up and unify those light heavyweight titles. I'd like to see Canelo honestly fight Better Biev next. I think that would be a
that's a good fight. No,
very interesting, intriguing matchup that I would definitely be excited for. So those are some things I'm looking forward to. And hopefully we can get some more undisputeds next year. Maybe we can get an undisputed heavyweight fight next year. But I don't know because Tyson Fury is just so goddamn unpredictable, man.
You just don't know.
Let
me tell you who I think takes place next year. I think that Josh Taylor and Terrence Crawford take place next year.
That'll happen next year. That's a good fight.
That happens next year, and I think
that's an interesting, fun fight that I'd be looking forward to.
Who is it? Shakur Stevenson and possibly Vasyl Lomachenko. I've heard that might take place. That's what Bobby was saying. He said that's kind of the fight to make. I think that's a really good fight. I would like to see a unified heavyweight champion. That ain't gonna happen though.
No, because of Fury.
Really
I love Fury to death, man, but you can't count on him.
Head case, man. He's a head
case. You can't count on him.
It's like their entire family. Like look at what what's his face pulled out of that fight, that Jake Paul fight. Tommy Fury pulled out of that Jake.
Yeah.
And that was dumb because that was his biggest payday. He ain't gonna see that payday again. Because he's not gonna see that fight again. You know what I mean?
If you're training and you're letting people punch you in the chest, there's something wrong, bro. There's something wrong. Like Teofimo Lopez letting that 300-something pound guy haul off and punch him in the chest like that, which I believe, in my opinion, damaged him, and that's why he had that condition.
I think COVID damaged him.
No, I don't think it's the COVID. I honestly don't.
I personally think it was the COVID. I know because when I showed you that video, we watched that video, and I remember you were really against it. I thought it was stupid too, but yeah, you were really.
He punched him right in the chest, and that was a couple weeks before the fight.
Yep,
that was like maybe 2 weeks before the fight. He did that, right? And lo and behold, that's when
right.
He had COVID like last. He had COVID last year. I don't think COVID doesn't damage your esophagus like that. He had a hole in his esophagus. COVID doesn't put holes in your esophagus. You know what puts holes in your esophagus?
People
Trauma.
punching holes in your
trauma. That condition that he had is caused by trauma, not caused by COVID. I know people say the COVID cough and this and that, but it's not going to put a hole in your esophagus. It's not.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor, man. I don't know.
You can damage the lining of your lungs and they can get inflamed, from excessive coughing. You could damage ribs and stuff like that, but you're not going to get holes in your esophagus from fucking COVID. I just don't believe that. That's just my opinion. I'm not a doctor either.
Yeah.
I play one on YouTube.
That right. Exactly.
I just think letting that guy punch him in the chest, I think that
That was dumb.
That wasn't smart.
That was a bad move, man. That was a bad
I think
move,
that's
man.
what caused the issue. That's just my opinion.
That was a bad move.
Yeah, because the COVID was almost a year ago. So I don't
Yeah.
I don't think that was the case.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, man, either way, that was a bad move.
We'll never know for sure.
Never know.
But I looked up the that condition, and the major cause of that condition is either there's two ways to get that condition: through drugs and through getting hit there, trauma.
Yeah.
Blunt force trauma. So
just dumb. That was just
stupid.
dumb.
Stupid.
I think that's it. I mean, Charlos. What about the Charlos? I don't see them going anywhere.
Well, there's a rematch with Castano and Jamel.
Yeah.
So we'll get that. I forgot about that. We'll get that next year.
That.
I think we're getting that in March or April, something like that.
What about Andrade versus one of the Charlos? That's not going to happen.
Andre's got a big mandatory coming up against this Russian guy, this Russian middleweight, who's tough. Who's going to be a tough fight for him.
And now, who was the? I'm trying to think, man. What was the? Somebody stepped aside. Yeah, that was the Ugas fight, because Ugas had a tough mandatory against that Russian dude, and he stepped aside. That guy stepped aside.
Good too. That guy.
Yeah, that was going to be a good fight. What do you think about Gary Russell and Mark Magsayo? The annual Russell outing. I think that's going to be a tougher fight than people think, man, especially if Gary Russell is as rusty and he's getting older. He's not as active. I think he could be there for the taking, man. I really do.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting fight because at some point in time, these long layoffs are gonna take their toll.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Stanios is versus Butiev.
Butiev, yeah, that's the
Ugas. Stanios is the guy that's supposed to be the tough guy. And Janabek is the guy that's going to be fighting Andre. Yeah. Both those guys are tough.
Janabek is really tough.
Janabek is tough.
That's going to be an interesting fight. So there you go, man. Lots to look forward to. Next week, we will be with you on Monday. I am off on Sunday. I'll be watching my Bengals at the stadium. How about that?
Yeah.
And we'll be with you same time, I believe, on Monday. I think we'll do 6 or 7. Just
we do 6 o'clock Monday. We do 6 o'clock.
That works for me. Yeah, that's works
fine.
For me.
That'll work for us.
Good deal. All right, guys, that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on Twitter at JHabib1. Our YouTube channel is at ringsidereporterlive.com, and you can find me on Twitter at ringside73. Everybody, have a happy new year. Root for UC, baby. The 31st. We're killing Alabama, son. And we're going to the national championship, and we're going to sweep that too. It's all over but the crying, guys. All right, guys, have a good new year. Be safe. We'll talk to you soon.